Julio Cesar Chavez.
Some fighters are famous everywhere. Some fighters belong everywhere. Julio Cesar Chavez, Mexico. Lightweight to welterweight, a champion. But more importantly, he was a symbol.
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't see.
Chavez didn't invent pressure. He perfected it. He showed the world what that forward movement wasn't reckless. It was calculated. Piggybacking off of those that came before him, he used that high guard, small steps, break the body, break the rhythm, and then you break the will. And that was definitely how Julio Cesar applied pressure. Time and time again, no matter who the opponent was, that was the objective.
I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts. Something deep inside won't let me quit.
Now here you're going to see Chavez working. You're going to see controlled aggression. Now watch the framing and body shots that happens here. Frame one, reach around, hook to the head just to set up the body shot, right? This is really, really controlled aggression. Look at this, another frame, body shot again. See, it's rinse and repeat too. Same process over and over. Look, see, this is controlled through contact. This is what I'm telling you. Julio Cesar really took pressure and made it. Look at the frame with the single hand, rip with one hand, right? Just all different kind, and back to the body, right? This Henry Armstrong kind of stuff. Body, head. He made pressure technical. That's what I'm telling you. And all of this was controlled, never rushing, always able to punch through contact. Really high level.
They stopped the fight. Draw. That's it. They threw the towel in. It's over.
Julio Cesar, he didn't just influence fighters in Mexico. He influenced how pressure fighters were built across Latin America and even into the United States. His style truly traveled. He didn't need to be everywhere. Everywhere felt him. Some fighters, they represent themselves. Other fighters, they carry a country.
Spectacular one-punch shot of Manny Pacquiao's incredible career. Any fighter.
Manny Pacquiao, from the Philippines, a teenager fighting for survival, man. What started as opportunity became obligation. And that obligation was to himself and to his country. And Manny Pacquiao was able to balance the two beautifully. What Pacquiao did was he changed the rhythm of elite boxing. He proved that speed, volume, and lots of angles could overwhelm precision. Not once though, but every round of every fight. Manny Pacquiao never shortchanged himself when it came to that. He always used relentless speed and relentless angles. Manny Pacquiao hunted the opposition. And I think that much was proven in how he worked. You got to remember, Pacquiao came up from the flyweight division and settled in around 154. And that's unprecedented. What you're seeing here is elite fighting. Lots of speed, lots of angles. And oftentimes, the way Manny fights, it seems like chaos, but it's not. You're looking at a guy that's shooting punches right up the middle, moving his feet when he punch, and getting himself completely off the angle. This is something that can be taught, but has to be trained and repeatedly trained and repeatedly trained. So the fact that Manny makes it look so easy and oftentimes makes it look like sporadic is really a testament to his skill set, you know. Watch where he finishes, you know. He never ends where he starts. Manny Pacquiao didn't just inspire fighters. He inspired belief. And across Asia, boxing wasn't just watched. It was chosen as a rite of passage, as a rite of survival. At some point, speed fades. What Manny Pacquiao gave his people will never fade.
Flyweight world champion, former super bantamweight world champion, former featherweight world champion, former super featherweight world champion, former lightweight world champion, former light welterweight world champion, and reigning, defending WBO welterweight champion of the world, the fighting pride of the Philippines, Manny Pacquiao!
Before Jack Johnson, boxing had rules. After him, the world did. And how the world reacted changed the history of the sport. And it changed the history of the nation. Jack Johnson, heavyweight champion of the world. But titles weren't the problem. He wasn't supposed to be this comfortable. Not in a time of colored fountains and when your eyes couldn't look a white person directly in the face. You couldn't be this comfortable. Jack Johnson didn't fight the way heavyweights were taught to fight. He leaned back, he countered, and he smiled. He proved that defense could dominate power and that confidence could provoke nations. You got to remember, Jack had already dominated the black heavyweight division where he had most of his toughest fights. He was prepared for this moment. He knew what the moment was, and he knew exactly how he would perform in that moment. He embraced it. He embodied it. At first glance, you don't see exactly what Jack Johnson is doing when he's in the ring. It looks chaotic, but it's a lot of skill set going on. A lot of high-level pinning and pressuring. Flurries from different angles and good foot movement, as you see the step around here. Not only did Jack have tremendous strength, he also had great speed for somebody his size. As you watch how he moves, you see how they chasing him. You know, this isn't arrogance when you're seeing Jack. It's mastery. Jack Johnson wasn't just watched. He was responded to. Countries reacted. Governments reacted. Boxing people became political. Everyone who was anybody, from the highest to the lowest, was affected by Jack Johnson during his reign as heavyweight champion. Recognized as the first black world heavyweight champion, Jack Johnson, he didn't ask permission.
The great Stanley Catchell, the Michigan assassin.
And the world never forgot.
Jack Johnson retains his heavyweight championship of the world.
Before Sugar Ray Robinson, there were fighters. After him, there was a model. There was a model of a complete fighter. Up until that point, Sugar Ray Robinson, without doubt, was the best representation of speed, power, and skill that had ever been seen. Sugar Ray Robinson. Multiple divisions, multiple eras, but one standard. The absolute best there ever was. And to many, the best that there ever will be. Sugar Ray Robinson didn't specialize. He connected on everything. Speed, power, defense, timing. There was absolutely nothing wasted. Everything was transferable. From the speed and height length of his jab, to the combination, to the punch placement, to the angle out and the angle back in. Everything Sugar Ray Robinson did was transferable. One thing led to the other. Fluid motion. The definition of poetry in motion. And what made Sugar Ray so special was he was able to do it repeatedly, over and over again. Watch how he finishes. See? Watch this combination here. Watch when he finishes and he already balanced. See? Already feet is in the right place to throw another combination. That's why the punches land, but the counters don't. Nothing was by accident. Every move was a calculated step. Every great boxer after him was measured against this. Not titles, not records, balance, blueprint, standard. In the history of this sport, there's only been a handful of fighters that's been able to do that. And without doubt, Sugar Ray Robinson is at the top of that list. You can change styles. You can change arm angles. You can change where your hands are. But you don't change the blueprint. Ever.
And now, here is boxing's undisputed #1 attraction, the undefeated welterweight and super welterweight champion of the world, Floyd Manny Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather didn't overpower boxing. He solved it. One round at a time. One fight at a time, one check at a time. Floyd Money Mayweather. From speed to precision, from talent to control. the absolute best fighter of his generation, and perhaps the best fighter ever. Mayweather changed the value system of boxing. He proved that damage avoided mattered as much as damage delivered. Every moment and every movement had a reason. Every punch was accounted for. The thing that separated Floyd Mayweather Jr. from fighters before him and after him was the absolute diabolical, maniacal commitment to be the best. Fluid motion always. Watch his posture. Floyd is never reaching. He's never rushed. He's not reacting. He's deciding. It was so hard to try to speed him up, to really get him to do something that you wanted him to do. Floyd Mayweather Jr. had the IQ to always know where he was in the ring. He always knew where his opponents was in the ring. He knew what punch you can land, and he knew the punches that he could land. And this was one of the geniuses of his fighting style. He trained maniacal. However, he fought as needed. Floyd Mayweather Jr. didn't just change how fights were fought. He changed who controlled them. Globally, economically, and individually. Taking his brand to a level never before seen in the history of the sport. A financial freedom unprecedented. Floyd Mayweather Jr. gave us the blueprint. The blueprint on how to win in the ring and how to win in life. Floyd Mayweather Jr. didn't need to be loved. He needed to be exact. He needed to be Floyd.
Wearing black trunks, the famous Detroit Round Bomber, world's heavyweight champion, Joe Louis.
Some fighters fight for themselves. Joe Louis, he fought for something much larger, much bigger than himself. Joe Louis, heavyweight champion of the world, at a time when the world was watching very closely, at a time when the world had strict restrictions on what the heavyweight champion should be, what he should look like, and what he should act like. That was the time that Joe Louis fought in. Joe Louis changed what a champion was expected to be. He was disciplined. He was composed. He understood that how he behaved mattered almost as much as how he fought. He was the first champion to ever be restricted contractually in regards to what he could say, what he could do, and how to behave. These were the precedents that Joe Louis was under. Never before had this been requested. Joe Louis understood the value of it. He carried that in every round of every fight, never forgetting his responsibility. There was no excuses. There was no excess. There was no showmanship. Everything was direct. Everything was controlled. As the son of Alabama sharecroppers, Joe knew what hard work was, and he knew the value of it. And his mindset was to work hard and destroy everything that was in front of him. And at the same time, represent your race and represent the title accordingly. Joe Louis was not just a champion. He was a symbol during a global crisis. His fights were followed far beyond the arena, across borders and across continents. The greatest heavyweight champion of all time, and perhaps the greatest champion, period. Joe Louis understood the weight, and he carried it proudly, profoundly, at the highest level, never taking anything for granted. Put his life on the line in the ring, devoted himself in service, and died as a true champion.
And still world heavyweight champion, Joe Louis. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat your children. Praise be to Allah.
Before Mike Tyson threw a punch, the fight had already started. Most of the guys that he fought, they had lost before they even got in the ring. Iron Mike Tyson, heavyweight champion of the world, the youngest the division had ever seen. The greatest combination of power, speed, and agility the heavyweight division has ever seen. Mike Tyson changed how fighters felt before the bell. His presence altered preparation. It altered posture. It altered decisions. Guys evaluated things before they got in the ring with Mike Tyson. It wasn't just getting knocked out. Guys had the perception that they would be killed in the ring. You gotta remember, Mike Tyson was knocking guys out in the first round on a regular. And as you can see, way more skillful than people ever realized. It wasn't just an accumulation of punches. It was a collapse. The fights ended before the strategies began. Fear was palpable. And when you got in the ring and actually felt how fast and how hard and how fierce those punches was coming, everything seemed true. And that created a panic. And a panicked fighter is a scared fighter. And a scared fighter is already beat before the bell. Mike Tyson didn't need translation. Balance was understood everywhere. Countries tuned in early, tuned in late. It didn't matter where it was, they was going to tune in. This was the biggest thing happening, and his name was Mike Tyson. He was a must-see. Every shade of people wanted to be around him. Even to this day, people are willing to pay to see a 60-year-old man fight in the ring. This is everlasting legacy we're looking at now. Forever great. Forever bold. Forever Mike.
Here is Muhammad Ali.
Some fighters are watched. Muhammad Ali was listened to. Heavyweight champion, Olympian, a global figure. The best combination of speed, power, weight that we had seen at the heavyweight division up until that time. Muhammad Ali would let you or anybody know that without a doubt, he was the greatest of all time. Muhammad Ali changed what a boxer was allowed to be. He spoke. He explained himself. And he did it publicly. On any stage, in any arena, to whoever would listen.
Everybody stop talking now. Attention. I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was the greatest of all time when I beat Sonny Liston. I told you today I'm still the greatest of all time. Never again defeat me. Never again say that I'm going to be defeated. Never again make me the underdog until I'm about 50 years old. Right. Then you might get me.
His style matched his presence. Movement, timing, control. He fought differently. He moved his head in a way that everybody said was wrong. He pulled back. He didn't keep his hands up. He punched off his back foot. All these things are, quote unquote, fundamentally wrong. They shouldn't be done because they don't work. They don't work at the highest level. They don't work with the greatest fighters of all time. Muhammad Ali showed not only do they work, but they work on a level that had not been seen before. Ridiculous hand speed and punch placement. The best heavyweight we've ever seen. In a world as dependent upon uniformity as this one, such a voice could not be tolerated. And there was a price. Titles were taken. Years were lost. The attention never left. The voice never left. Due to the fact that Muhammad Ali was true to what he believed, his impact never faded because his voice and his commitment never faded. With a voice and spirit so big, Muhammad Ali belonged to no single country. He was recognized everywhere. His name traveled faster than broadcasts, faster than the results of his fights. Muhammad Ali's impact was unlike any other fighter that ever lived. People embodied him. They wanted him around. They appreciated his presence. Muhammad Ali didn't just change boxing. He changed what it meant to be seen.
I am the king of the world. Hold it. I'm pretty.
Hold it. You're not that pretty.
I'm a bad man.
Wait.
I shook up the world. 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 I shook up the world.